Good evening, it's Jeff and Wilma at Budrum, and this evening I've got this shark fin soup that we made. I'm going to have this for dinner tonight, and we're going to show you how we go about making it. And it all starts about 30 miles out to sea from Mooloolaba in my commercial fishing boat. So the shark itself got sold for human consumption, and I cut the fins off to make this shark fin soup. It's our first time. Okay, this is the first fish of the day on the fourth day of our fishing trip with Shane and I. The shark, and it's part one of my shark fin soup video. So just as a matter of interest, if you catch a shark, straight away the first thing you want to do is bleed it. And the best way to bleed a shark is to cut its tail off, as you can see there. So what I've got to do is cut the fins off and cut the head off, and then put it in the ice slurry straight away. Now this is sort of how you prepare them to sell. So what you're aiming to do is remove all the skin and just leave the cartilage, the what they call noodles, or the cartilage. So I'll just give these a bit of a wash. Well, I've got a saucepan of boiling water here. What I'm going to do is put the fins in, reduce it down to a simmer, and let it simmer for about 4 hours. Then I'm going to go and do some work on my bees in the meantime. This has been just on a very slow simmer, for 4 hours. So what I'm going to do is just drain the hot water out and replace it with cold water. And then let it sit overnight. So that's what I'm going to do. So this has been soaking overnight outside in the cool air. What you do now is you separate, you just scrape all the outside bits and the skin away from what they call the noodles. Now that's the noodles we're getting.
Just like little glass rice noodles.
Yeah. The Chinese bloke, he was able to give us the good advice on this, and this is what we're aiming for, is these noodles here. Looking for these noodles here. And we've still got quite a few more to get out. So they say after you cook it the first time, you remove the skin and the dentines. So I found out that the dentines are the real fine scales that protect the skin. So I always thought sharks just had skin, but they have these things called dentines, which are like real fine scales that protect the shark. So it's all stuff you learn when you get on the internet. So what I was thinking, when we separate, when it's all cooked down, you got these sort of gritty, sort of sandy sort of stuff. The best I can guess is that must be the dentines. So if you put them up under a microscope, you'd see under a microscope it could be something like that, or something like that, or like that. These sort of scale shaped structures that make up a sort of a protective layer on the skin. I'm just chopping up this ginger into thin strips, and I've got some young red onions, or we can call these for the purpose scallions. So it says to cook them with ginger and scallions. So that's what I'm doing. This is what we got out of our shark fins. This is the noodles that we actually got. The final amount. And we got probably about 95% of the noodles out of the shark fins. Actually, there's quite a few in there, in fact.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, get rid of any of those dentines from it. I've got this saucepan here with the heat on. I'm just putting all our noodles in that with our ginger and scallions. Now I'm going to bring this to a boil and just let it lightly simmer. Well, they say 8 hours. So we're just going to look on it, check in on it every now and again and see what it looks like. So it's been 1.5 hours it's been simmering. It smells beautiful actually. So there's our noodles here. Looking good. So it's been another 2 hours since we looked at it. And the noodles are still the same. Smells nice anyway. Have another look in another 2 hours. So next part of this shark fin soup is I've got 3 cups of water in here, and I have the frame, a cleaned frame of a small snapper. I'm going to put that in there, and we have the head and the shell, so 6 large king prawns. We're going to put them in there, and what we're going to do is just let that slowly cook down. Just slowly cook down for the next few hours and get a beautiful stock out of that. So I'll just do a 2-hourly update here and I'll see how things are looking. Yeah, oh yeah, much the same. I'm going to give it the whole 8 hours, like they say on the internet. In this saucepan here, our stock is just slowly bubbling away, very slow. Our shark fin noodles have been cooking for 8 hours. So I'm just going to drain all this water out. I'll just put this back in this saucepan. Now, what I'm going to do now, put this here and strain this into it. Just squeeze as much juice out as I can out of these prawns in there. What I'm going to do is just put in just a pinch of sea salt, 2 garlic cloves, going to crush those in there. I've got some of this finely grated crystallised ginger, so I'll put another bit more of that in. And I'm going to put in a nice handful of these oyster mushrooms. I'm going to put those in. Another spring onion and some pak choy. That's all out of the garden. The pak choy is out of the garden. I just picked that one today. So I'll just bring it back to a simmer and let that simmer for a while. And I'll put the lid back on. Okay, so we've got the last ingredients to go in here. I'm just going to put in a few drops of sesame oil. A few more drops of soy sauce. Just a little bit.
Salty.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Not much. I've got 1 fillet of king snapper cut into cubes, and I've got now 6 king prawns. I'm just going to put them in. And then just increase the heat a little bit and then let them cook. I'm just going to stir it around a bit. And it won't be long, we'll be having our dinner. Well, this is ready to dish up. And we're hungry. Right, look at that. Looks fantastic. Smells absolutely beautiful. Oh, gee, it smells divine. So this shark fin soup, apparently shark fin doesn't have any flavour of its own, so it's going to be as good as the soup that you make it in. And apparently the shark fin enhances the flavours of everything else that's in the soup. So the last few days I've learned a fair bit about shark fin. You can understand why it's so expensive in the restaurants. So let's have a taste of it. That's beautiful.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Bye.